everybody. Parashat Devarim. Also tonight, in a few hours, Rabbi Isaac Luria, Hey Be'av. Join me at around 4 to 4:30 a.m. tomorrow morning, Bli Neder. We're going to do some study as well. So, Devarim, a book that summarizes all the books before that, the 4 books of Moses before that. It's a 5th book. Kabbalistically, 5th book means Malchut. First book is Keter, last book Malchut. Meaning in this book, it's a manifestation. This is the manifestation of everything, and that's why it looks like a repetition, which is a repetition. It's repeating all the story. And it seemed like Moshe Rabbeinu, Moses, is talking to the Israelite 40 days before he passed away. Because it's a Ve'ashte Eser LaChodesh Be'echad. Rosh Chodesh, basically Shvat, and which is the month of the 11th. Moshe Rabbeinu died in Zayin Be'adar. So if that's so, this is 37 days before he passed away. So Moshe Rabbeinu is in a way, not in a way, the reality, waiting so many years, 40 years in the desert, to talk to the Israelites about what he think, what God told them they did wrong, criticize them, and help them to become better people. That's what Moses is doing. Devarim also mean diburim, conversation or talk. And Devarim mean things. So everything to do with Malchut, everything to do with the Malchut, everything to do with manifestation is within this book. There is some rabbis that believe you should read the Book of Devarim all the time for manifestation reason, So, sound good, why not? Every Torah study is wonderful. Of course, I more recommend to people to study the wisdom of Kabbalah, specifically the Arizal, Etz HaChaim. And to understand Etz HaChaim, you can understand the Torah of Ashlag and Admor of Brandman. 2 of them, Baal HaSulam and Baal Malot HaSulam, 2 of them together. This is it. This is, I'm sure that if I will live in their time, I will believe that 2 of them supposed to resurrect Mashiach ben David, Mashiach ben Yosef, and finish the Tikkun. But I'm living in, in our time now, and living in our time, it seemed like the generation, 2 generations before me, they reached to the peak. I don't know if there is another peak, another level like that. I don't know if there is a possibility for another level like that. I hope there is. I want to believe there is. That in my generation, they will be able to discover tzaddikim like that and reveal the Torah in the best way we can reveal it for the sake of people, for the sake of us, for the sake of God, for the sake of the Shekhinah. So we need to understand that tonight is a very holy night. Many Hasidim, many Kabbalists actually do music, even it's the 9 days. They listen to music, they do dancing. If you're in the year of mourning, better not to dance, but you can be in a crowd that listen to music and have a little bit good atmosphere, as this is a Be'av, and we know that in that anniversary of a tzaddik, he revealed all the secret. Now, I heard from my friend Rav Michael Maor, he's there now in Tzfat, and he told me that it's amazing, there's all this little mount in Eretz Israel of Tzfat. All the secret of Kabbalah is in this little mount. Everything is there. Rabbi Yitzchak Luria, Rabbi Moshe Mitrani, Rabbi Elkabatz, from Lechadodi, Elna Refanalai. Everything is there in this mountain. The son of the Ari, Rabbi Moshe Cordovero. Everything you can imagine is there. Even Halacha, Rabbi Yosef Karo. It's almost Mount Sinai. This little mount is almost like Mount Sinai if you think about it. Okay? So it's important. Now it's fashionable that everybody wants to be buried there. But the question is, you're supposed to be desired to be buried there, or you're buried there because your soul belongs there, or you've been invited there. So I don't know. I'm not here to judge whoever buried or not buried there. I'm just saying, If you're there, visit. It's a very powerful place. That place is very powerful. And may Hashem give me wisdom to my wife and myself. Give me wisdom, give us money, and give us direction and connection, how we can build this area better. Because they've been me dreaming about making the Kohanim be able to go to a tunnel. I'm sure just by me talking about it, it's already in the manifestation processes. That's why heaven give it in my mind. And also the Knesset of the Arizal, can be like one of the biggest place ever. The whole area can be the mikveh. There's so much there. You understand? There's so much there that we can do, but we need wisdom, connection, and money. Whoever connecting politically, whoever know how to build places, please contact us. We can make sure this is all manifest. But I'm here to share with you Divrei Torah, and I work on the parashah with my daughter Racheli, and so my daughter Racheli brought to my attention the Orach Chaim. So Orach Chaim, it say, why is Moses has to mention all the places they went to? He say we went Be'ever HaYarden, across the Jordan, Ba'arava, Nusuf, front of the Suf, Bet Paran, Tofel, Lavan, V'chatzerot, V'dizav. He gave them all the name. So tell us Orach Chaim, Be'ever HaYarden, נתעכב מלאורכם עד שיהיו בעבר הירדן. Moses would not tell them what's wrong with them until they go across the river, because he's about to show them where they're crossing, and then they can receive his criticism. ולא מקודם, not before, שהיו מרוחקי התקווה בנפשם קצרה ולא יטו אוזנם להשכיל מתוך הטוב, because they were too busy surviving. It's a big lesson, I think, at least for me. I don't know if it's for you. When a person is busy surviving something or try to work on a project and you come and tell them what's wrong with them, they're not going to be very open-minded. It's not going to work. It's the first lesson from Orach Chaim. Not going to work. ואמרו במדבר בערבה. רבותינו ז"ל בספרי דרשו שוחרם על מה שעשו במדבר. אפשר לפרש כל הכתוב דרך רמז באופן אחר, וגם כמה למעט משה כללות תקראת השם, מידות תענוגות, זוכרים בתורת השם, והם מידות 9. Tell us Orach Chaim, there is a secret there. There is 9 ways of how to behave better with the Creator, just by naming the place. So it's a very important. So first, we start by 9 places. First, שיהיה לוקח מידתו של אברהם, דכתיב לאברהם העברי. So when it say, בעבר הירדן, cross of the Jordan River, is corresponding to the word Avraham העברי. Abraham, the Hebrew man, because when you say Hebrew, is Ivri. It's translated into ever, meaning crossing. When you're crossing or you transform, להעביר. והוא מה שרמז באמרו ever. So the first thing, if you want to work on yourself, you have to read about Abraham. How can you be like Abraham? מכניס אורחים, בעל חסד, welcome people to your house. Because I know people that never have guests in their house. I don't get it. I just don't get people like this. Don't get it. It's not about being cheap. It's about being, I don't know. I mean, how can you live like that? I mean, it's terrible. No energy in the house. The only way you have energy in the house is if you have guests. It's the only way. Your house cannot be energized if you don't act like Avraham. I'm telling you from experience. When I don't have guests, the house is sad. When I have guests, the house is happy. ב' שיהיה מרדות בליבו תמיד כאומרם במסכת ברכות עמוד ז', טובה מרדות אחת בליבו של אדם עם 100 מלכויות, והוא מה שרמז באומרו הירדן. Second thing you say is, when it say ירדן, Jordan, מה זה Jordan? From the word מרדות. מה זה מרדות? It's more like rebellious. You have to rebel against the negativity. Okay? It's better than people beating you up under time. What does that mean? That when you overcome something, there is way more power, way more power than people pushing you to change or to become better. ג' מידת הענווה, stay humble. כאומרם ז"ל בעירובין נ"ד, עירובין נ"ד, לעולם ישים אדם עצמו כמדבר, person always should put himself like a desert. And you remember, בעבר הירדן, במדבר. The third word is במדבר. So במדבר like a desert. Humble. אין מה שפירשתי פרשת יתרו. פסוק ויסעו ברפידים והוא מה שרמז ועוברו במדבר. This is מדבר. This is the whole idea is midbar. Now, after he said to you to become humble, which is the 13th, now we move into the fourth. The fourth word, ba'arava. Ba'arava. What is the fourth? שתהיה ענווה בדרך הנאות, לא בדרך הפחיתות הנמאס. When you're being humble, don't be like, it's too much for me to be humble. It should be with pleasure. Like what the Rambam wrote, בהלכות דעות, the Rambam in Eliyahu Jian in the section of the Ot, Perek A, in section 5, Ot Nayanva. This is the way to become humble. שלא ישתמש בה להרחיק תוכחות על עוון אם יראה איש עובר פי השם. Some people use the humbleness is in two ways. First, that people will not crush them, so they become nobody. Or, if you see people killing people, you say, I'm humble, I cannot stop them. cannot do it this way, said the Rambam. ויאמר, מי אני? Who am I? ומי ביתי? And where am I coming from? להוכיח אנשים גדולים. I cannot tell people who are bad people that they are bad, because I'm humble now. No, that's trick. Don't do it like this. אלא צריך להוכיח, צריך חיוב הערבות. So בערבה, זה בערבה, במדבר בערבה, ערבה כבודו ערבות. Hold yourself accountable for the Israelite, no? והוא מה שרמז בו בערבה, כלל שני דברים. So what does that mean, ערבות? What does it mean, ערבה? Two things within ערבה. שתהיה ענווה ערבה, so when you are humble, it should be sweet, don't suffer. Be happy about being humble. Some people being humble, but they show the world how מסכנים they are, how miserable they are. ב' חיוב הערבות שצריך להוכיח על עוון קטן גדול, ולא ישתמש בענווה בעניין זה. And the second thing is, make sure that you're not just being humble and avoiding society. You have to be humble for the right reason. A, מול סוף, אמר התנא, פרקי אבות, הסתכל בשלושה דברים, לאן אתה הולך? אתה עתיד, כן אמר התנא, שוב יום אחד, שבלי לזכור תמיד יום אותו. כל יום זה זמן גבול המיטה. What is it מול סוף? סוף, said to us אור החיים, is like סוף. סוף mean an end. So all the time remember the day you're gonna die. וכל שהוא זמן גבול המיטה, כמו שאמרנו מול סוף, שיהיה מול עיניו סוף אדם מתכליתו. Spiritual process see the end, see the death, every day. So he doesn't know if today it's going to be the last, or in 45 years will be the last day. You need to work on himself as if all the time seeing the end, and how much time left for them to make something happen. Now he's taking Vav from the Hasidim, from Chovat HaLevavot, Shar Prishut, Peidalet. The idea of Prishut means parush. Parush meaning you stay away from anything that gives you luxury or pleasure. That's called parush. צהלתו בבטאיו ודאגתו בליבו. In his face you see shining of light. Somebody who's parush, but he's worried in his heart. Ben parat uben tofel. That's what it says. Ben parat uben tofel. What does that mean? כנגד צהלתו פניו אמר ben paran, לשון פאר. On his face you see glory and happiness. That's paran, pe'er means glory. הפך עיצבון, the opposite of being sad and miserable. שהוא פנים רעות. וכנגד עיצבון הלב, אמרו בן תופל, שלא יהיה לבו ערב עליו. בן תופל, meaning internally he work on himself or herself. ויתעצב ליבו מפחד שמא עבר את פי השם. But it's not sadness of not getting. It's sadness, maybe I'm not doing what Hashem, what the Creator want me to do. ויתעצב ליבו מפחד שמא עבר את פי השם. You are sad, maybe you did the wrong thing. או שמא מעט בעבודה מה שצריך לעשות. Or maybe the quality or the quantity of your spiritual work is not enough. So that's בן פרן ובן תופל. The 7, ולבן, שיהיה לו לב טהור ונקי, לבן מן white, that his heart will be clean. שידע שהתפלל דוד, לב טהור ברא לאלוקים. Like David said, תהילים, נון א', may Hashem create within me a heart which is clean. ירחיק ממנו שנאת הבריות. How do you know your heart is clean? You don't hate people. You don't hate people. קנאה, you don't jealous for people. תחרות, no competition. והמסתמה, and you don't give an eye on people who do well. That's how you know your heart start to get pure. Again, שנאה, הבריות, hating the people, jealousy, תחרות, competition with people, והמסתמה, לסתום עינו, like to look at the eyes and other people, whatever they have better than you. והוא מה שאמרת במרוב לבן, שיהיה לו לב טהור, שיתייחס לטהרה כאילו זה של לבן. So be careful with that. That was the 7. 8, what is the 8? בין תופל ולבן, וחצרות, וחצרות, תלמוד תורה, חצרות is תלמוד תורה, to study תורה, בקביעות כי יעקב אבינו, like Jacob, תכתיב יושב אוהלים, בצבע, Jacob that he was sitting within his tent, לא לימוד הראי, not just to study, coincidentally study, והוא אמר וחצרות, הם חצרות שהם בתי מדרשות. There is people who study a page, for the fun of it, and there is people who regularly study. So you have to have קבעת העיתים לתורה, you have to have a specific time when you study Torah. You have to do it. We all need to do that. Some less, some more. I do the minimum I do is the 5 minutes in the morning, before tefillah, or while tefillah, or after tefillah. And I add after that, B'ezrat Hashem, but I should add more. I know I should add more. Tet. וזהב and gold. What is it, gold? שלא ילהות אחר הדברים הנדבים לאהוב הון העולם הזה. Do not be excited and happy to chase things that has to do with the עולם הזה, שכל ההולך אחר תאוות ליבו, whoever go after the last of his heart, בטל הוא מעבודת השם. will be cancelled from worship God. וצריך אדם להסתפק בהכרחי. First should be enough, whatever you have. הוא מה שרמז במרות די זהב, that's what mean gold. שאומר לזהב די. מה זה ודי זהב? The place called די זהב. זהב means gold. די is די. Enough gold, meaning, שאומר לזהב די. Enough gold. You say that, או על זה הדרך שאמר, שכל מה שיהיה לו יהיה בעיניו דבר מספיק. Whatever you have on your table, you should say it's enough. You want to add? You can add. But first look at it. Wow. Then you can add. זה ודי זהב. כאילו יש לו כל הזהב. Should look, let's say you have table of Shabbat. Let's say you only have חלות and sardine. First you look at it. Wow. ודי זהב. די לי בזהב הזה. And then you can say, let me add vegetables if you have. ועל דרך אמרו במסכת אבות, איזו העשיר השמח בחלקו. Now you understand who's a rich person. People who are happy with what they have. Does that mean that they cannot add more? Of course they can add more. But are they ever going to stop and be happy for something? If yes, then they can add more. But if they're not happy with what they have, if they add more, they're not going to do any good things. Through doing those 9 things, you can truly raise yourself to Avodat Hashem. Now, what do we learn from Orach Chaim just now? Orach Chaim revealed to us a big secret, my friend. He revealed the true essence of the parashah Devarim. 9 levels, he could see 10, 11, 7, 9. There's a secret here, Kabbalistic secret, that you want to teach us that actually within the Torah there is always a secret, always something going on. Anyway. Now, when we thinking about Moses talking to people, I found something very nice in Zera Kodesh, the Rovshitz, Rabbi Naftali Rovshitz. So I say in the second part of Rabbi Naftali Rovshitz, in the beginning of the parashah, במדרש אתמול אמר Moshe in the Midrash say something. What did he say to Hashem? When Hashem want to send him to the Bnei Israel, he say to Hashem, Lo ish devarim anochi. I am not a man of devarim, of thing. I'm not a man of talking. I'm not a man of conversation. But use the word devarim. What's the name of the parasha? Devarim. עכשיו אלה הדברים אשר דיבר משה. Those are the things that Moses say or talk. Also דברים, דיבר. Same words, גזרה שווה. פירוש העניין. We need to explain that. על פי מה שאמרו ז"ל, שכל הימים שהיו ישראל נזופים במדבר, לא נתייחד עמו הדיבור. All the time, when Bnei Israel was going through a rough time in the desert, the דיבור that Moses was supposed to have, channel the דיבור, was not together with Moses. בלשון חיבה, פנים אל פנים, שאין השכינה שורה על הנביאים אלא בשביל ישראל. The Shekhinah have a deal with the prophet. I will be with you if you take care of my people. I cannot be with you if you don't take care of my people. לכן שהיו ישראל במצרים, מתברך היה כביכול בהסתר פנים מהם, אמר משה לא איש דברים אנוכי, שהבין מדיבור התברך שאין לו דברים בלשון חיבה כראוי. When the Bnei Israel were in Egypt, and לכאורה עליו דרוב שיצא, it seemed as if God is in Esther panim, but we know Rabbi Nachman Breslev say ואפילו בהסתרה, meaning God is never leaving you alone. He gave you the feeling like he's leaving you alone, but he's actually there. For that reason, Moses didn't want to be a channel, because he has no good news to deliver to them from Hashem. ושאין כך אתה אחר 40 שנה, but after 40 years, שהיו ישראל במדבר, וכבר קיבלו התורה הקדושה, they are 40 years in the desert, they already received the Torah, which is good, וקרובים הם לכנוס לארץ, זה about to enter ארץ ישראל, אמר אלה הדברים, those are the words, those are the thing. What is the thing? וזהו היה תשובתו התברך למשה, מי שם פה לאדם? If you remember, when Moses complained to God, I'm not a man of conversation. What does God answer him? מי שם פה לאדם? Who put the mouth to a person? You know, there is people who are going against what Barasulam said. Barasulam said, to be able to get Torah and study Torah, teach it. You don't teach it, it's not going to stay. So people come to listen to me, but I'm not good with teaching. I'm not good in public speaking. Mi שם פה לאדם, more than Moses. What? If you start teaching, don't you think God will take the tongue, throw it, and put a new tongue in? What do you worry about? Oh, it's not you. If it's you, you should be worried. It's not you. ומי ישום אילם או חירש? ואנוכי יהיה עם פיך. God already told him. Why you complain that you cannot talk? I will be with your mouth. כמו שרמת לנו מקודם, אמר מוציא לך את העם ממצרים, תעבדו את האלוהים על ההר הזה. לא תורה הקדושה יתברך, ידבר. ישראל בלשון חיבה. ואז ידבר השם פנים אל פנים למשה. So he said to Moses, why you worry if I am talking to them tough, not tough? Who's even put the mouth to you, even doing anything? So for that reason, the same Devarim that God wanted to tell the people 40 years ago before they left Egypt is the thing that Moses are telling them now. That's the really, and it's with kindness. And for that reason, now it's panim lepanim. Now it's face to face. Yeah. Well, what is the message here actually? It's two messages. First, if you want to be the leader for a spiritual group, you have to have rachamim, mercy on your people. And if you don't, you will not be able to channel the light of the Creator. It will be you. It will be nobody else. And if it's you, then what are you giving them? What's your purpose here? Okay, so it's a very important message. Now, because it's the Ilula of the Arizal, I want to read from Sefer Devarim, Sefer Likutim. Okay? So it says like this. He start 11 days we were from Chorev, Derech Arsir at Kadesh Barnea. Moses is telling them it was 11 days from one place to another. And the Arizal is relating it to the 11 klipot. For that reason, you יריות, עזים, מורדמים, you have the goat skin to prevent the whole idea, the negative part of the klipot. Tell us the Ari, why they have to go to Ar Seir, mountain of Seir, which is the nation of Esav, Edom, it's the worst. Shem Samech Vem Venukve. What could be worse than that? Negativity. Vaven, you need to understand. וכדי שיאיר היום מתוך הלילה, for the light to shine during the night time, שהוא הבירור שנעשה, this is called בירור, בירור means sifting, getting the good out of the bad, וצריך החורבה, you need destruction. For that reason he say, י"א יום מחורב. For that reason it was 11 days from a place called Chorev. Now Chorev can be translated to Mount Sinai, but use Chorev, Chorba. Chorva means destruction. וזה י"א יום מחורב שיצאו מסיגי החורבה. It took 11 days to get out of the negativity of the חורבה. בסוד היה בונה עולמות ומחריבם. From the secret that God was creating world and destroy them. Now, what does that mean? I mean, is God truly destroying it? What does that mean? Because בתחילה ברא העולם במידת הדין. First, God created everything in a judgment attribute, meaning everything is a giver and a receiver, and we had nothing to do with it. But then it has to be some change that we can be part of creation. So for that reason, you need to destroy it so you can build. With that destruction, our גאולה, our redemption is depends. Every day we elevating soul that fell to the klipa. We got to destroy, we got to have destruction, so that soul will go back to the holiness. That's why it say, הר חורב עד קדש, till a place called קדש, קודש, holy, עד שעולים מתקדשים לבוא אחר כך בזה העולם, until they become holy, to come to this world, בסוד נשמות החול, כאן נדע וסיים, ברנע, דהיינו שהוא בר נע ונד, כולי בהגלות עד סוף ביורם במהרה בימינו. What is mean עד קדש ברנע? meaning בר נע, בר mean to go out, נע meaning a movement, נע ונד, meaning while you're in galut, you have to create a movement. Look at the beautiful section that the Ari is helping us to understand this parashah. And the Ari was the first to see that the Torah is built from seeds and branches. Before him, it was hidden within Tikkunei HaZohar, Idra Zuta and Idra Rabbah. It's hidden. And Ari was able to get it out into the tree of life, into all his book, through those three sections. Every secret there is in the world is in Idra Rabbah first, okay? Idra Rabbah, Tikkunei HaZohar, and then the last is Idra Zuta. The last revelation of Rabbi Shimon is Idra Zuta before he died. The beginning of revelation, Idra Rabbah. In the middle was Tikkunei HaZohar. Those three sections, which we call the three column, is the fixer of the entire world. You can fix the whole world if those three sections will be studied. That's it. Those three columns need to be studied, but we need enough teacher to teach it, which is deep Kabbalah, and for that reason, Debbie and me look at ourselves as a pioneer to make sure that there is enough teacher who can teach it. Yeah. There's another section from the Ari. I'm trying to take the part we can fully understand, all of us. There is one of the nation called Zamzumim. And it says, Zamzumim em mibeurei chokhmah. We know that there is 10 nations. 7 nations we've been told to get rid of because they're disturbing the Israelites. And 3 nations we don't touch, we don't fight with them till the Mashiach will come. And I'm not talking about fighting, bloodshed, and all this and that. I'm talking about now to get rid of the forces. Now, why there is 7 and 3? We know 7 Sefirot and 3 Sefirot. And it say, these Zamzumim come to the word as Zamam. Zamam, Ed Zomem, a witness that want to lie. It's called Ed Zomem. ומאלו היו ערב רב. The ערב רב came from the Zamzumim. וכל מי שיש לו ערעור מחשבות רעות הוא מהם. Whoever has a negative thought or negative thought about sin is come from that nation called Zamzumim and the ערב רב. The Ari is basically opened up to us to see the Torah in a bit of a different color. So this is a bit of the Arizal, and hopefully at 4:30, I think, 4:30 a.m., we're going to do study from the Arizal. We know that this Saturday night, I hope all will join me. You can fly from all over the countries to be with us in that amazing night. We're going to do a third meal, and right after third meal, we're going to do the Arvit and reading of the Megillat Echa. So there is an argument in Megillat Echa in the Zohar. Who should mourn the Shekhinah? You know, the mourning, the Avlut of the Shekhinah is quite important. Quite important. The reason it's quite important because you want to be part of the negative part of what the universe is going through, you know. So it say, there was the argument between the Jew that went to exile in the Babylonian and the Jew that stay in Israel. Who should mourn? That was the argument. And this is the end of the argument. Kuf bet Echa. Sulam. Bnei Yaakov, כמו שאתה אומר. If we're talking about the 10 tzaddikim that die at that time of the temple, one of them is Rabbi Shimon Kohen Gadol, Rabbi Shimon ben Gamliel, Rabbi Akiva, so many Rabbanim, Rabbi Chotzifat HaMeturgeman, and all the other rabbis that I don't remember, not because they're not important, because my memory is not in the level where it needs to be, based on my sin. So the children of Jacob had to be judged for selling their brother for slavery. Because we know if you sell your brother slavery, chayav mita, supposed to die. She'un shechail, they were tzaddikim, but they have to suffer from what they did. But how they pay for it? They die. When they die, you know, they pay for whatever went wrong. כבני יעקב כבר מתו, ומיתתם מכפרת על העוון. If they die, they cancel the sin of Yosef. They did that. ועל כן חזר הנחש, but the snake was not giving up, לקטרג עליהם, אחרי שמתו. He said, excuse me God, you owe me 10 people who sell the brother for slavery, and he had to give the 10 righteous people. So continue, שלחו להם בני הארץ הקדושה לבני בבל. That's the end of the argument based on that. They sent to the Babylonian Jew after the temple had been destroyed, and they say to them like this, אמת היא שאתם יש לכם לבכות. You should cry because you're not in the Holy Land. כמו מי שבוכה מרחוק. Like somebody who cry from far. כי האבל והבכי והמשפט בנעים ובריאות לא הגיע לכם. The sorrow and the pain and all of it didn't reach all the way to the Babylonians, to Iraq. כי רחצתם רגליכם, because you wash your leg, meaning עשיתם תשובה, you did תשובה, ואינכם רוצים לטנף אותם. You don't want to make your feet dirty, meaning to come back and make more sin, כמקודם. כמו שנאמר, רחצתי את רגלי כחת ענפם. You can say, I wash my leg, why should I make it dirty? אבל אנחנו, but us, who live in ירושלים, that are here בין גדרי הנחש, within the fence of the snake, ואורב לנו בכל יום, and he's looking for us every day, הורג ונושך, he bite and kill, ואנחנו בינינו ראינו עיוות הדין של עשה בינינו, ולא שחל. We saw what went wrong. We experienced how they kill Rabbi Akiva, how they remove his skin. שהם בני יעקב, שגדלו בעשרת הלכות. We actually saw Issachar going to become Rabbi Akiva. We saw it. We saw it. That this is the children of Yaakov. שבהם שתק הנחש, אבל לא ביקש דין, שער בהם בעיר הגדולה. Why when Yaakov's children were around, the snake didn't go to God to fight them? He was afraid of them. He didn't want to mess with them, בני יעקב. ולא יכל לעמוד בפניהם. כבר שאמרו לה למה הוא בתשובה, דהיינו שבתו, אמר לכם, זה כלום, דרש דין. So after they died, the children of Yaakov, snake said, I gotta ask for whatever I want. So he went to God to say, Yosef, hey, they sold the brother Yosef. In your Torah, I say, Vegonev ish umacharo. Somebody who steal a person, a man, and he sell him. That's what the Torah said. You're supposed to kill him. What did you think God answered the snake? Amar kutsha barichu lanachash. Amar kutsha barichu lanachash. Yosef lo haya ish. Yosef was not a man. ונמצא בידו. Tell us Ravash, what does that mean he wasn't a man? He was younger than 20. He was 17. Younger than 20 is not a man. It's not considered a man by the Torah. שאין בית דין של מעלה מענישים עליו. You cannot judge a person. נמצא בידו כתוב, והרי לא נמצא בידיהם. חזר ואמר נחש, כי ימצא איש גונב נפש ביחיד בני ישראל, ויתעמר בו וחומר עומד הגנב ההוא. כאן לא כתוב איש, לא כתוב נמצא בידו, אבל כן, עומד הגנב ההוא. The נחש, the snake brought another proof from a different section of the Torah. He said, if a person steal a person from his brother, and he sell him, he should kill that thief. He said to God, here, different place. 800 שנה. 800 years. Days and night. עמד הנחש. ההוא ודרש דין. In front of God, 800 years. For this, say the people who live in Jerusalem, we should cry about the destruction. שהעיר הקדושה נשארה בדד. The holy city, Jerusalem. Look at Jerusalem now. Political fight, they belong to me, they belong to me. באותו שעה ירד סמך מהם, בלבל העולם. 800 years exactly to the day. סמך מהם, the angel of negativity, came down to the world, confused the entire world, and injected consciousness in the Roman, the king. And then he asked to kill those 10 people. And nothing was injustice like that since the creation of the world. So when we say, Echa yashva badad, Echa yashva badad ha'ir, Eva, Aleph, Yud, Bet, A. If you look at the Bereshit, Genesis, Ve'eva asim benecha u'ben ha'isha. That's Eva mean hatred. Hatred I will put between you and the woman, Hashem said to the snake, if you look at Genesis. For that reason, we talk about Echa is the snake is involved, because he was found a way to the laws. It's called Ivut Adin. Ivut Adin meaning the Tziduk Adin. When somebody dies, you do Tziduk Adin, meaning you agree with it. Then Ivut Adin, meaning when something is totally unfair. That's about the tzaddikim. The reason I mention it in the end of the lecture, we need to know it's a behalf tonight, and tomorrow, B'ezras Hashem, we're going to study a little bit more. But we gotta make it different, guys. And I'm calling you, I'm calling all of you. A call for action. Call of action to join me. To join me big time. I need you on Rosh Hashanah to make a difference. We got to do it together. I need every person. We gotta do it together this Rosh Hashanah, because as you can see what happened in Ukraine and Russia, what's happening in China and Taiwan, what's happened in North Korea, Iran, what happened in the United States. It was a rough year for a lot of people. I need you to come and help me and join me to make a difference in the world. Please join me. And we're going to end up with a story, short story. And this is all collection of stories from Rabbi Chaim Mitzan's מונקץ'. בשעה שרבי הירש מזידיצ'וב נסע למונקץ', רבי הירש מזידיצ'וב, travel to מונקץ', ביקש בדרך בעיר אוהלת הישיש רבי משה טייטלבוים. He asked for רבי משה טייטלבוים. התאונן רבי משה לפניו, רבי משה complained to him, like he usually does, why is Mashiach not coming yet? Because usually we say Mashiach will be born in Tisha B'Av. מעלותו יודע, he asked רבי הירש, he said, do you know why? אמר רבי הירש, כי מנהגי הוא להמליץ על כל איש. My tradition that I have to be להמליץ, I have to להמליץ. So to suggest, recommend or suggest, אפילו אם הוא כופר. רבי הירש say, my tradition is I usually speak good about people, even if they're כופר mean, even if they don't believe in anything. ולחדור לתוך שורש כפרתו. Not only that, I'm digging into the שורש of the כפירה, to the roots of negativity. Why? ששם יש להכיר את הרע כאין צרה ותשוקה. Because then I meet their evil like a problem and like lust. כשמגיע אני לכך, when I reach that level, הריני מוציאו מתוך כפירתו. I'm capable to take the כפירה, the negativity out. מה סבור בעלתו אתה? He looked at Rav Moshe and say, what do you think, my dear rabbi? כלום עלינו ניתן לכל הנשמות האלה ללכת לאובדן? Should we let all the soul to go to the garbage? The soul that have no chance? והאם לא יוכלו לאובדן אם יבוא משיח היום? If Mashiach come today, all the soul that never keep Shabbat, all the soul that never get closer to Torah will go to the garbage. Why do you want Mashiach to come today? Let's first save everybody. Join me, please. I need your help to save more people to become spiritual. I need every one of you to become working with me to make a difference in the world. Thank you so much, and you have a wonderful holiday of Arizal and hopefully easy fast on Saturday night till Sunday night. All the best. Thank you so much for listening.